Let's take a look at sourcing materials and services. So after the chapter, you should be able to understand the role and nature of purchasing, procurement, and strategic sourcing in a supply chain, along with the other factors listed here. And specifically included in that, we'll look at some things like total landed cost and its value to the procurement process, and some issues concerning e-commerce and e-procurement. Logistics and supply chain managers are looking for ways to get more value from their purchasing and procurement operations. As a result, the topics of purchasing, procurement, and strategic sourcing are all receiving considerable attention as organizations try to improve the overall efficiency and effectiveness of their supply chains. Purchasing is the transactional function of buying products and services. Procurement refers to the process of managing a broad range of processes that are associated with a company's need to procure goods and services. Strategic sourcing. Essentially, the strategic sourcing process is broader and more comprehensive than the procurement process, and it represents a very useful means to make sure that procurement priorities are well aligned and goals and objectives in the supply chain and the overall organization. All right, let's take a look at 5 examples of ways in which strategic sourcing is different. Number 1 is consolidation and leveraging of purchasing power to concentrate larger volumes of purchases into fewer suppliers or fewer purchasing transactions. Number 2 is the emphasis on value rather than acquisition cost alone. Number 3 is more meaningful supplier relationships. Number 4 is attention directed to process improvement. And number 5 is enhanced teamwork and professionalism to include suppliers and customers as appropriate. So let's take a look at the evolution of the sourcing process from traditional to strategic to E-enabled to integrated sourcing. There are 3 types of purchasing activities. First is that of capital goods that may represent a longer-term investment for an organization that may require significant financial planning. Second is rebuys, which are repeat purchases that may be either identical to historical purchase or some variation thereof. The third is that of maintenance, repair, and operations items that are needed for the continuing operation of the company and its supply chain activities. Let's take a look at the types and importance of purchases using the quadrant technique. Quadrant technique enables the supply chain manager to assess the importance of each product or service being purchased. The quadrant technique utilizes a 2x2 matrix to determine a procured item's relative importance on the basis of value and risk. The criteria used to delineate importance are value or profit potential and risk or uniqueness. The value criterion examines product or service features that enhance profits for the final product and the firm's ability to maintain a competitive advantage in the marketplace. A value risk quadrant categorizes items' importance and classifies items. Distinctives are high-risk, low-value items and services, such as engineered items, parts that are available from only a limited number of suppliers, or items that have a long lead time. The company's customers are unaware of or do not care about the uniqueness of distinctives, but these products pose a threat to continued operation and/or high procurement cost. A stockout of distinctives results in stopping the production line or changing the production schedule to work around a stockout item. Both tactics increase production costs. Generics are low-cost, low-value items and services that typically do not enter the final product. Items such as office supplies and maintenance, repair, and operating items, MRO, are examples of generics. Criticals are high-risk, high-value items that give the final product a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Criticals, in part, determine the customer's unique cost of using the finished product. The procurement strategy for criticals is to strengthen their value through use of new technology, simplification, closer supplier relations, and/or value-added alternatives. The focus of critical procurement is on innovation to make the critical item provide greater market value to the finished product. Commodities are items or services that are low in risk but high in value. Basic production materials like bolts, basic packaging, like an exterior box, and transportation services are examples of commodities that enhance the profitability of the company but pose a low risk.